of episodes ago, we were dreaming of spring. We put nice flowers, right? And we thought the spring was coming. But the 12 seasons of North Carolina tricked us. That was a false spring. Because we're back to winter, I think. It's 40 degrees outside and very windy. It feels in the 30s. It's just ridiculous, right? But nevertheless, the calendar tells us that spring is around the corner. Right?
Yep.
And nothing says spring better than a birdhouse, right? This is our design birdhouse that we built some episodes ago. And if you want, you can go and watch and see how you did it. It's not a very complicated design. But there is nothing better to build as a spring project than a birdhouse that doesn't take as long as the one we just showed you, because that was a longer project. So today, using one of these boards and only that, which means it would cost us less than $4, right? We are going to build this. Which one opens?
The one that you got your thumb on. There you go. Yeah.
Convertible? I don't know if it's convertible.
It's cleanable. It's cleanable.
It's cleanable. One cedar post, and that shows you the power of woodworking, right? We took this and made this. And you can make them in about an hour. You can batch them and sell them on Facebook Marketplace and make some money for spring, right?
Yep.
It is a fun project. You're going to see them all over the place if you're a hiker and you go to the national parks, because this is a design of the forestry, the US Forestry Division, right? We didn't design it. I think it's one of the most classic birdhouses, isn't it?
I think so.
When people think of a birdhouse, that's what they think. And really, most anyone can build it. A couple of details. The floor is slightly thinner than you would think, but you need something to be able to open it, right? You need a little bit of a place to put that. Technically, you could make this a little longer, but it wouldn't look, you would be able to see it in the front, right?
Or you could put some sort of pull tab or something, but this is just a clean.
This is a cleaner, nicer way.
Yep.
You put that up and then you wait for your birds. That is a very straightforward thing. And I might put it up and put the camera and see if any birds will come.
Oh, set up your own bird cam. That'd be cool.
Bird cam, yeah. This will be the next channel we're building.
Right.
The bird cam channel. So today is an exciting episode for another couple of reasons. We finally solved our airstrike, right?
Yes.
It needed solving. What was the problem, Mrs. DIY, with our airstrike?
It would not put through a nail through the wood unless it was at a very strange angle.
Very extreme, right? Most of the times it will not fire. It frustrated us a lot. It actually caused some of our projects not to be as good because we got frustrated.
And we were struggling with holding joints together while trying to use the tool.
Correct. So we solved it for a very, very expensive way. We bought a new one. No, we didn't buy a new one. And it will not fire, right? And look at the angle we need. Huge angle to fire, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we see any improvement. We purchased some, what do you call them? Tips. See the yellow thing there?
Yep.
Yep.
Now it angles it, or not angle, but it's
Right,
a
it's
straight
perfect.
and it allows it to be
Wow,
triggered.
I would have never thought of that, would you?
I thought of it last week when we were struggling, but
Yeah.
before that, no.
So magic little plastic clip. How much did that cost?
They were $8 for 8, so $1 a piece. But that means we've got extras, and I think well worth the frustration.
Definitely. And we can be, friends again with our electronic.
airstrike. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have an airstrike that you have lost or broken the tip, in our case it broke, it wouldn't stay on, right?
Right.
And you're frustrated that you need extreme angles to make it work, apparently this is a solution. Who would have thought?
Doesn't quite match the Ryobi yellow, but yay, it works.
Yeah, that's the important thing, right?
Right.
We still have our faithful Ryobi. We bought some, what do you call them?
They're the little tips. For
Yeah, some plastic tips.
Yeah.
And that's all that it needed. Amazing. If you have an airstrike and you struggle, look, make sure that your tips are still there. And if they are not, very inexpensive, like $1 a piece.
Yep.
Nothing, You can even 3D print them probably if you have a 3D printer.
Probably.
What else we did today? We did something else.
Oh,
We
it
fixed
was
that.
our air quality.
Our air quality, yes. We finally installed our cyclone, which we have bought like 2 years ago because we are so much on top of things in this channel, right? And our first results, we're going to let you see for yourself, right? But today, our dust collection went a step further than in the past. So stick around. This is going to be a very good episode. And you're still our favorite viewer. So universal adapters are never universal. We've been using this adapter for our planer that has worked pretty good, and we found out we never use this part of the adapter and it makes quite a lot of a constriction of the airflow, right? So we're going to modify this adapter by cutting it. Because, you know, you might be a redneck if you cut your adapters, right? Okay, ideally, hold on. Let's put something here because I prefer it to be straight, you know? Can you hold it, you think, or?
I think so.
And just like that, we have two adapters.
Nice.
We have a little bitty adapter and an adapter that usually works for us, right? So let's go and see if we did something or we didn't do something. So we need.
So now this is the adapted adapter, and we're going to install that on the hose. And you might see in the background here, we've got a new filtration system we've had around for a while and are today setting it up. So
you broke the surprise.
well, it's in the shot, so I just thought I'd call it out. But you can talk about it more. And now we know this hose actually fits over the port in our
What is not to
planer.
fit now?
Well, it's very snug. So
has
does,
always fitted
So
before.
it does take a little bit of a wiggle to get it on there, but it fits and it stays there securely, which is the important part. And now we have the adapted adapter to our new system.
So while we're loving our thickness planer and a lot of our tools that require some dust collection, the problem we have faced in the past is that we have to empty the vacuum too often, to a large degree because there is a very big filter in there that takes a big of the space. Now this system separates it and it does two things. It gives us the whole size of the bucket, number one, and number two, it never reaches the filter, right? Or the things that reach a filter are very, very minute and they will never fill this bag. So instead of opening this, we'll just have to empty this.
Okay.
All right?
What about the really fine particles? Will those make their way over to the
Yes, the
vacuum?
filter will catch those,
Okay.
that's its job.
But at some point, we'll need to clean that filter, even if the bucket's not
Right,
super
but
full.
not every board that
Right.
this generates a lot of chipping.
Okay. Okay, the first board we ever planed with the Cyclone,
And Elpida, does it work?
Very much so.
This is amazing.
Very
Like,
much so. This is from our last adventure,
Right.
not fully cleaned up. There's nothing here.
virtually not. I mean, so little that it is.
Right.
And nothing in the air, right, Mrs. DIY?
Right. We're
We
not
didn't-
breathing in all that dust.
So we're going to see how easy it is to empty it when time comes. But for as far as the quality of the collection, it seems pretty good. Of course, we changed two variables. Very bad scientist on my part, because we use the cyclone variable 1, and then we cut the diameter of the adapter variable 2. So it could be either or both that made this difference, right?
So we're just cutting off that little dog ear section to make a fully straight board before we continue with the rest of the cuts.
Go.
And we are also squaring up the other end, just because we have found that these boards that are more project boards that are not milled specifically for projects that we're making use of, we do better when
All right.
prevents issues for us further down in the project.
Now, most of our cuts for this project will be different, the length. So we start with the longest one, which is the back, and that will be at 9 inches.
And so are we using just a single board for this entire project?
I don't
Is
know.
the goal? Okay.
As you know, I very well calculate everything, so
Awesome.
we're cutting until we run out of material.
Okay, awesome. So our first board is a 13.5. We're not marking it, we're just using the measuring tape and then making sure that our blade is on that line.
Cannot see if we are flat on the fence, honey. Are we?
I can't move it anymore.
Okay.
So it is as flush as it gets.
Then,
We're cutting, the next ones are 2 pieces at 9 inches. Okay.
yeah. I think 3 pieces at 9. 2 sides and the front, right?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it. You got the plan.
For this, instead of measuring again, we're going to use our first piece so that we have consistency over accuracy, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to cut 2 more
So
pieces.
3 pieces at 9, 2 more pieces. Because again, it makes no difference if it is 9.1 or 8.95. As long as they're the same dimension, they're good, right?
Yep. Okay, so we've cut our 3 9-inch pieces. Our next piece is an 8 1/4 inch length. And our final piece is going to be 4 1/4 inches. And as you can see, as we've cut down this board, it makes it a little easier to handle. We don't have to have quite as many hands in there.
And I think that's,
The cut list, right?
and that's our scrap.
This is it, and that's our scrap. Okay.
All right, so let's, I guess, start assembling.
Gonna do the bottom, just so that for marking purposes. So what we're doing is finding the correct placement for the access hole for the birds. So if that is the bottom, this is 6 inches up, I'm just making a light mark in.
And then we need to find the board middle.
And then it
Where is our
said,
middle finding tape?
I don't know, we seem to have missed it.
So our board is 5.5. So our middle is 2 3/4, right?
Right.
If your board is 6, it will be 3, right?
Yep.
And that little mark is where we want the middle of our fastener bit to get, right? So we can go through it.
Yes.
Now, depending on what bird you want, you're going to have a different diameter. So if you want a tree swallow or an eastern bluebird, then you need 1.5 size hole for those birds. We are in the eastern, so that's why I'm giving you the eastern birds, right? For this type. Then if you want a great caster flycatcher, then you need 1.75, 1 3/4.
And
So-
that's inches, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the dimension of the hole is what determines the bird that is going to be attracted to this little tree house. Excellent. Ready?
Yep.
I think, yeah, this one.
It's wiggling though.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't want to take the time to put it on the... And now we can through because we can see the different color, what you call them.
Right, we had put a sacrificial
pieces.
piece of wood under there to help support it.
And we have a very nice hole. Yay, great hole.
All right, so we're gonna put 3 holes in each of the sides for ventilation. And we've got both of the sides here clamped together because we want to do, 3 drill holes and not 6. And that makes them consistent on both sides. Not that an architect is going to, fuss about it, but, or an inspector. So I'm making a few little marks. That's about middle. That's about a 1/4. That's about a 3/4. All right, so now I'm going to use a punch.
Why are we needing to punch it?
So that it makes a little divot so that we're not going to allow the drill bit that we're going to use to wander all over the wood as it tends to do. We're going to give it a nice deep hole to sink into. There we go.
You want to do?
Sure. One down. Two.
Actually, you are in the hole. I don't think you were on that one. And we decided, even though it would be virtually impossible to see, we went through both at the same time for symmetry, right? I don't think it will make a real difference.
Not just symmetry, but we drilled 3 holes instead of 6.
Okay? And do you want to do 2 more here? Maybe use one of those on top. We only need 2 on the front because of this big hole here. All right, let's do that.
And so we're using one of the side pieces that we had already put those holes in, and we're putting the front that we did, the giant, the 1.5 inch egress. We're using the side as a template, and we're gonna drill a couple of more holes here. And again, that's not absolutely necessary, just for us. The idea of having a little bit of symmetry there.
Because we're CDO.
Yes, we are.
Which is how OCD should be spelled.
Awesome.
So it is assembly time. And we start by attaching the front to one of the sides. Make sure that it's flush top to bottom. Now we could have used some CA glue. We didn't, but we could have.
Good. And we're just using the opposing side to help support this while we assemble.
And 3 should be plenty, right?
I would think so.
Excellent. So we're also going to put vent holes on the bottom, and it's the same process. We're not going to measure anything. We're going to eyeball 4 holes, and we're going to drill. One of the pleasures of working with cedar is a nice soft wood, right?
Yep. It's not hard to cut through, drill through.
Take a little bit of time to make sure that your drill is on the dimple you made. And that will minimize any, what do you call it?
Walking.
And probably we need to do a little bit of sanding so we don't give the birds any splinters, right?
Sure. I mean, they climb on trees.
Right, whatever. I don't care about sanding, it's up to you.
Just cleaning up the openings a little, right?
And welcome back to the sanding channel, because even our birds deserve a very well smooth.
A very well smooth surface, yes.
Yeah, very well. Much smoother and betterer. This will be the luckiest bird in the world, birds. All right, again, similar process as before. We're going to put glue. We're going to attach the bottom on the front, one side, and the back. The back will be last, right? Mm-hmm. So Mrs. DIY put glue. Okay. Excellent. Okay, very good. We have a corner. We are eyeballing now the birdhouse because we're ready to attach it to the back. The back is the longest piece we cut, and it needs to have a little bit of space on the top and a little bit of space on the bottom. Make it visually pleasant. you can have a little more on the top than the bottom, and that will make it look great. So flip your birdhouse with the front touching your assembly surface, and then put the back on. And Mrs. DIY made some alignment marks. Let me zoom, as you can see there. So when we were seeing it before, we knew where we visually like it, and we made just 2 alignment marks. Those are enough. And now it's time to attach it.
Both, right?
Yes.
Here and here?
Yes.
And add the double glue. The glue works both as a insulator, so it prevents from air to moving in, and also of course as a glue. Carefully align your pieces.
Okay.
And I'm just putting downward pressure to hold it in place.
And now our newly minted airstrike.
That's gonna tell you where the inside board is. Does that help? To do any across the bottom.
Okay, yeah, you need.
So the board is just this side up.
And Elpida is using just a scrap, so will help Mrs. DIY to know where to put your brad nails, and they need to be just inside that scrap, right?
And what is this piece?
It's just,
Nothing.
It's just
It's a
an
scrap.
alignment to show you where the bottom of that board is, so,
So
that
you can
know on
hit
this
the-
side is where
Ah,
we're not attaching it. It's just alignment.
It might be too much out there. No, you need to come towards you. See, this is a shorter piece here. Sorry.
Yeah, so
You need to be at least.
can you help hold that one maybe? So that one is there.
Towards you, look.
did I get it or not?
Yeah.
And so you did.
Yep.
So now it is really taking shape, isn't it? Yeah, we might give it a little bit of an angle like that, you know.
Okay.
All right.
And then why haven't we attached our other wall?
Well, because this is a convertible birdhouse. So we are going to attach it there, but then we are going to put 2 screws or 2 nails to make it pivot.
And the reason we do that is so that it can be cleaned out.
Correct, at the end of the season.
Okay, flipping it.
So we're going to experiment a little bit. We're going to put a brad nail on each side to allow it to pivot. You could use nails or screws. We're just experimenting, and if that fails, we can always put a screw later. As high as you can towards you. Go. Okay, that came out a little bit. All right, and in the other side, similar if you can, without coming out. Okay, let's see if it tilts up. Can you try it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep. It's alive, alive, I tell you. All right, now we need to use our favorite tool and cut this. So we're going to have a little bit of flames flying, right? Yeah, you're on the right spot. No, I'm sorry, one up. can feel nothing. It's like it never happened. So this is our top piece, and we've made a little angle. We just wanted to be a little bit an angle, have a little bit of circulation of air on the top, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to, which direction we want the angle to be? I don't know. The other way. Okay, So this is probably the trickiest connection we have to make because it's at an angle. And Mrs. DIY has made some marks there. Let's see if I can show them to you. You can see she has made the marks, but that will help us align and use the brad nails correctly.
Is it in place?
No, don't push.
I only got this one.
Okay, that looks correct.
That one looks on.
That's fine, I think. Excellent. And a couple of brad nails in the front, and we will be done. We need to clean all that glue. Well, what do you think, ladies?
It looks pretty cool. I mean, it's free lodging, right?
Yeah, free
All they have to
lodging.
do is add their own bed.
So our swallows or bluebirds should be very happy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, cost under $4. If you want to make those and sell them, I think you can easily get 15 out of this. What do you guys think?
I think so. For people who do bird watching and they like to have a lot of bird houses in there.
So definitely not an expensive. Even with our unorganized shop and filming, I think an hour for most
Yeah.
everyone is
Definitely.
plenty of time to build this. So it is not a very long. How difficult is it? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced?
Very beginner.
Yeah, I think it's beginner. It requires a few tools.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this could be done with manual tools and a screwdriver,
Yeah.
driver
Except
bit.
for maybe the hole. Like having
Right.
the Forstner
Right.
bit definitely helped. I'm not sure what other bit you would use.
You can use a step bit. I don't have an example, but it
Okay.
looks like a
Yeah. Like the graduated bit that
right.
keeps
It
going.
looks like
Yeah.
a triangle, but it is spherical instead of.
Okay.
So there are bits that you can do it. Again, in any birdhouse, the size of the hole is specific to the species of the bird you're going to attract. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So we live in the eastern coast. We put them for the eastern birds. If you live in the west coast, you need to find out the dimension of the hole, right? Now, cedar means that this is going to age to a very nice gray color over time. We are not going to finish this in any way, right? This is maybe even call it a seasonal, but it will last many seasons. In fact, in our house in Kansas, we had a birdhouse that lasted 13 years. I mean, it lasted forever from cedar. Mm-hmm. We left it there for the new owners when we sold the house. So it lasts a long time. What was the most difficult part?
I think the most difficult part is just really just lining it up and coming up with the design that you want.
Well, in the design, to give you credit, this is not our design. This is the National Forestry design. If you're a hiker and you go out hiking, you're going to see those in every national forest. This is what the forestry builds to attract their birds. So a very, what you would call a classic birdhouse look.
Yeah. And we did leave, if you'll notice, we've got some area up at the top and a lip at the bottom. That's for attaching to a tree.
Yeah. And it makes it look a little nicer, I think, than being slide, right? This cut here, I wouldn't call it difficult, but it's the only tricky part. But you can see it is very nice there and gives us a very, very gentle slope. If you want to know, this was a 6-degree angle. It's not a very big angle at all. So potentially you can do it even sanding, right?
Yep.
Aggressive sanding will give you the same thing. Well, friends, This is our episode for today. This is the final product. And if we get any birds to live in it, we're going to show you. Thank you for joining us on this fun episode. And we hope you enjoyed our build. I think that was an enjoyable build for us. What do you think, ladies?
Yeah, it was.
It was not a bad build at all. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY and Alpida, let's build a birdhouse together.